Three girls who left their country to another in strong quest for money but later returned with nothing. Chidinma, Ifeoma, and Adiz had grown up in the quiet, humble surroundings of Umuahia, a small town in Abia State, southeastern Nigeria. They had been childhood friends, bound by their dreams of a better life, of wealth and luxury far beyond what their families could afford. The stories they'd heard about Dubai had always been intriguing. The sparkling city of gold, where the rich and powerful lived in decadence, had become their symbol of hope. They envisioned it as their ticket to a life they couldn't even fathom in Umuahia. It was Chidinma, the most daring of the three, who first brought up the idea. She had been scrolling through Instagram one evening when a picture of a lavish mansion in Dubai caught her eye. The caption read, "Live the life you deserve. Work hard, play hard." Chidinma had shown the picture to her friends, and they had all agreed that Dubai was the key to their freedom. "I'm going to Dubai. I'll make money and come back with enough to buy a car, a house, everything I've ever wanted," Chidinma had declared with such confidence that even Adiz, who had always been more cautious, couldn't help but feel a flicker of excitement. Ifeoma, with her love for fashion and beauty, was equally eager. "I can't wait to live that life. Dubai is where all the fashion people go, and I want to be one of them," she said. Adiz, who had the least desire for material wealth but wanted a better life for her family, hesitated. "But what exactly will we be doing there? I've heard stories, and they're not all good." "I don't care about the rumors," Chidinma replied. "If the money is there, we'll find a way to get it. Nothing else matters." And so, the decision was made. The girls pooled what little money they had saved up and managed to secure a flight to Dubai. They didn't know exactly what awaited them, but they were willing to take the risk. They arrived in Dubai with stars in their eyes, dreaming of a life they had only seen on TV. The first few days were filled with excitement. They marveled at the towering skyscrapers, the luxurious shopping malls, and the endless supply of designer brands. It seemed like everything they had imagined and more. They spent hours walking the city, snapping selfies by the fountains, and admiring the opulence. But as the days passed, reality began to set in. Their hopes of finding glamorous jobs in fashion or beauty were dashed when they discovered that it wasn't as simple as they had thought. Without a solid visa, they couldn't legally work, and no one seemed willing to offer them legitimate employment. They soon found themselves stuck in a city they couldn't afford to live and with no way to make the money they had dreamed of. That was when Chidinma's boldness came into play. She had met a man in a nightclub on their second night in Dubai. He was wealthy, handsome, and seemed genuinely interested in her. He spoke of business deals and extravagant vacations, promising her the life she had always wanted. He also hinted at the possibility of a different arrangement in exchange for his financial support. Chidinma didn't hesitate. This was the opportunity they had been waiting for. She went back to their apartment and told Adiz and Ifeoma about the man and the offer he had made. Ifeoma, ever the opportunist, was the first to agree. "What's the worst that could happen?" she said, her eyes glinting with excitement. Adiz, on the other hand, was uneasy. "I don't want to do anything illegal or immoral," she protested. But Chidinma reassured her. "This isn't about that. It's about survival. We need to make money, and this is the only way to do it right now." Reluctantly, Adiz agreed, and the three of them soon found themselves in the world they had only heard about, a world of wealthy men and their extravagant desires, a world of transactions made behind closed doors, a world where the girls' beauty and bodies were their only currency. Over the course of the next few weeks, they met other women, some from Nigeria, others from various parts of Africa. They all seemed to share the same story, young women lured by promises of wealth, only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of exploitation. For every night they spent in the arms of a man, there was a price to pay, emotionally, physically, and mentally. The girls felt the toll, but they told themselves it was temporary. They would endure this, make the money, and return home as rich women. But as the weeks turned into months, the harsh reality of their situation became harder to ignore. Chidinma's man, who had once promised her the world, grew distant. He started to bring other women into the picture, and his promises of wealth began to feel hollow. Ifeoma, who had initially enjoyed the attention, began to feel used. The men they had been with didn't see them as people, but as objects to be bought and discarded. Adiz, the most reluctant of them all, found herself feeling numb, emotionally drained, and questioning whether the money was worth the toll it was taking on her soul. One evening, after a particularly painful encounter with a wealthy man who had treated her like a commodity, Adiz finally broke down. "I can't do this anymore," she sobbed to her friends. "I thought I'd be able to come back with money, but all I have is this emptiness. Chidinma, her eyes hollow from exhaustion, nodded. I feel the same. I thought this was the way to get ahead, but it's not worth it. Ifeoma, whose once glamorous dreams had been reduced to shattered illusions, sat silently beside them. She had no words, only the realization that the world they had chased was nothing compared to the price they had paid. After months of exhaustion, broken promises, and shattered dreams, the three girls decided to return to Nigeria. They had nothing to show for their time in Dubai but the memories of their lost innocence and broken hopes. No money, no luxury, just the harsh lesson that the pursuit of wealth through exploitation comes with a cost too high to pay. As they boarded the flight back to Nigeria, Adiz, who had been the most hesitant from the start, felt a deep sense of relief. I've learned something important, she said softly. Money isn't what you're so. Chidinma, Ifeoma, and Adiz, three Nigerian girls, traveled to Dubai to escape their humble lives and make money by engaging in relationships with wealthy men. They dream of luxury and wealth but quickly find themselves trapped in a cycle of exploitation and emotional toll. After months of broken promises, unfulfilled desires, and a deep sense of emptiness, they returned to Nigeria with nothing but the painful lessons learned.